Good morning, everyone. I miss you guys so much. Special shout out to my 5th and 6th graders. Miss you guys. Miss your silly laughs and your silly jokes. I can't wait to see you guys. Today, I want to share a story. I want to give some background to why I'm sharing this story, though. So, to start, I want to talk about how when I was little, I had trouble handling my emotions. I had trouble expressing what I was feeling. So I would feel all these things inside me and I didn't know what to do with them, and so I would lash out, or I'd be angry and yell at my brother or yell at my dad or my mom or something like that. And it especially happened a lot when I was hungry. So I was a little hangry, but I didn't know that it was because I was hungry. So my parents, that's something that they had to teach me, was that, Hannah, you might be feeling all this anger and frustration because you're hungry. You might need a snack. And so then they'd give me a snack, and of course 10 minutes later I'd be bubbling around, running around like everything was fine because I was just hungry. But it took me a long time to learn that that's where the root of my problems were, that's why I was feeling that way, was because I was hungry. And there were so many other circumstances where I had to learn how to handle my emotions and why I was feeling the way I was. And one thing my dad taught me a lot growing up was, he used to say this all the time, so much that I got annoyed, but he used to say that your attitude is your choice. And that hit me hard now. I used to, when I was little, I'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever, I get it. But now I see how much power that sentence has, where even though I'm feeling frustrated and angry, I don't have to show that. I don't have to have that attitude or that perspective. Even though I'm hungry and I'm struggling, I can still choose to have a positive attitude because my attitude is my choice. And I still have to struggle with that. I still have to learn about how to handle my emotions and how to identify what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. But I'm doing so much better at it now than I was when I was younger. And it's going to be a lifelong thing for me to learn. I know so many adults that struggle with this, so many adults, and that's okay if you guys feel like that sometimes too, where you just don't know, there's things inside you and you're like, I don't know how to express this, or I don't know what I'm feeling, and that's okay. So I have this little friend here, his name is Mr. Octopus, and he helps identify feelings. So he's feeling happy right now, but if I flip him, he's clearly upset. So we're going to talk about one adult in the Bible who did have a tough time with his emotions and how he acted because of his emotions. So throughout the story, Mr. Octopus here is going to help us know if our friend is upset or happy. So I want to talk to you guys about the story of Jonah. So Jonah was a man in the Old Testament who God called to go to the city of Nineveh. And Nineveh was full of bad people. And so when Jonah heard that God wanted him to go to Nineveh, he was upset and confused. He was like, well, those people are bad. They don't deserve to know you, God, or I don't want to go there. And he got very frustrated and upset. And so he decided to run away. He got on a ship and he sailed the opposite way of Nineveh. And while he was on the ship, he was happy. He was like, oh, I ran away. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Nineveh is out of my mind. Won't have to have a problem with that at all. But while he was on the ship, he fell asleep. And while he was sleeping, God caused a storm to happen. A big storm, like tipping the boat. It almost fell over, and it was crazy. There was water everywhere, crazy. So all the other people on the ship, they woke everyone up who was sleeping. They said, hey guys, we don't know what to do. We don't know what's going on. But Jonah knew. Jonah knew that God wanted him to get off the boat because he wasn't supposed to be there. So Jonah told everyone on the ship, he said, hey guys, you need to throw me overboard. And everyone was like, what? You're crazy. And he's like, no, trust me, throw me overboard. So they did. And I can imagine that Jonah was not happy when they threw him overboard. He was probably confused and frustrated and like, well, I don't understand. I thought I ran away from my problems and now they're coming back and now I'm getting thrown into the ocean. And so they throw him overboard and the storm stops And while Jonah's in the water, he gets swallowed by a giant fish. Like the biggest fish you can imagine times 3, okay? And so when Jonah's in the fish, he's happy at first, right? He's happy at first because he's not drowning, right? God saved him. But then he's there for 3 days. So I'd be a little upset because it probably doesn't smell good in the fish. So he's probably a little sad there. But during those 3 days, it forced Jonah to pray to God and to talk to him and to connect with God. And he was able to pray and ask for forgiveness for running away. And that made him and God very happy. So they were pieced together. So Jonah's in the fish. It's been 3 days. And he's praying to God, asking for forgiveness. And so God lets the fish spit him out onto dry land, which of course made him very happy. And then because he was happy and because God provided for Jonah to come out of the fish and he saved him from the ocean, then Jonah decided to go to Nineveh and to serve God the way he originally was asked to do. He changed his attitude. He chose, even though all these crazy things had happened and who knows how he was feeling, he's probably hungry because he hasn't eaten for 3 days and everything was a mess. He chose to have a good attitude and he chose to serve God and he chose to go to Nineveh and do what God had originally asked him to do. So even though he might not have been feeling super happy on the inside, he chose to have a good attitude about it and to serve the way God had asked him to. And because of that, so many people, hundreds of people in Nineveh came to Jesus and became Christians. They turned away from their evil ways and Jonah saved them. God saved them through Jonah. But it was Jonah's attitude that changed everything. See, at the beginning of the story, Jonah was upset. He didn't want to go. He was upset and he didn't want to go. And that's why his bad attitude caused him to go away. And then no one was saved. But when Jonah changed his mind, he changed his attitude, people were saved. And so I encourage you guys that even when there's so much going around you and you can't control everything, that you can control one thing. You can control your attitude and how you do things. I can control my attitude around the house when I'm frustrated or hungry or annoyed at my siblings, and you guys can too. Maybe your mom asked you to pick up your toys and you don't want to. Well, even if you don't want to, you can still have a good attitude about it. And that can help turn the whole day around. Because you don't want something little like that to ruin your whole day. Choosing to have a good attitude can make the world of difference. Thanks so much for listening to our story today, guys. And thank you to Mr. Octopus for helping us out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Bye.